Hi, good morning. The normal question every student has is whether I should be going for Canada or for UK. This is one question that is being asked every now and then. Almost every day we get calls regarding the same thing. So let's have a detailed comparison between Canada as well as UK. So here we'll start off with UK. So UK, everyone knows that comparatively it is quite easier to get admissions in UK. Basically, like there are plenty of factors that are involved when we are judging that UK is comparatively easier. So first we'll look at UK, post which we'll look at Canada. Now coming to the UK's eligibility criteria. In UK, the eligibility criteria for a UG admissions is 13 years of prior education or a class 12 from a state or a central board. That should be fine if you're opting for a UG course. Now if it is a master's course where MBA programs, MSc programs, all these courses are there, so any 3-year bachelor's degree from a UGC approved university would be fine if you're applying for a master's course. Now there is another set of courses like research education, MRS, which is MSc by research, is also there. These courses we'll look at the later stage. Now we are only addressing the commonly opted course, which is a UG and a general PG program. And coming to the language eligibility, that is the one huge advantage every student has when they are opting for UK higher education. Mainly because if it is language test, the basic one everyone opts for is IELTS. So for IELTS, what happens is most of us have this fear factor when we say this term IELTS. Everyone literally panics. We don't know yet why they're doing so. So in UK, you have alternate options for IELTS. One is, yes, obviously there are alternative tests like PT is there, then TOEFL is there, Duolingo is there. So all these tests are there. Apart from that, we have 3 more options when it comes to UK. One is, you can actually submit your medium of instruction certificate from the university or college where you did your bachelor's from. That is one option that you have. Then the second option would be you can actually go for a university level language test. Normally any university level language test, it is not that difficult when you compare it with IELTS or PT or TOEFL. It is comparatively much more easier to qualify and clear the language test there. And third option is, it is only for the CBSE students who did their CBSE 12th. If the student is having more than 70% in class 12 CBSE board English subject, then there is a possibility of getting exemption from most of the universities from UK when they're opting for masters or bachelors. So this is regarding language. Now obviously when you're looking for higher education abroad, quality does matter. Every student who's aspiring to go abroad, they definitely look at this as a parameter because quality of education is one of the most important stuff. Now let's say quality of education, when we compare it with UK and Canada, there are 2 organizations or most accepted rankings worldwide. One is QS World Ranking and the second one is Times Higher Education Ranking. In QS World Ranking, every year they update the rankings based on 51 subjects and various parameters. Similar strategy is followed by Times Higher Education Ranking. The basic purpose of these rankings are to make sure that the student is getting ample information and they are able to choose the right university according to the merit of the university. You should be choosing your university based on the performance of the university, whether it is graduation percentage or placement support, whatever it is. All these parameters are measured by both these organizations. So it is very important when you are opting for a university, always make sure that you check their QS World Ranking plus Times Higher Education Ranking. Now, final thing. This is applicable only for the students who are planning to settle down in these countries. So that is stay back. Stay back is a crucial factor these days because nowadays what we have noticed over the years is any student who's planning to migrate to whether it is UK, Canada, US, Australia, New Zealand, any country for that matter, the prior agenda is to settle down in that particular country. Not to just get your international higher education and then come back to India for your family business or getting an employment opportunity in India. That is not the thing that students are looking at these days. So stay back is a crucial factor for students who are planning to settle down in that particular country where they are looking for a higher education. So in UK, the major advantage is for a 1-year program, you get a 2-year stay back. And for a 2-year program as well, you get 2 year stay back. So the finance part, in financial terms, what we can say is, for 1-year programs in UK, let's say normally it costs around 12 lakhs. If it is an extended program, which is a 2-year course, this will cost you 2x of the same fee, which is roughly around 24 lakhs. So the advantage for the student is, with the minimal investment, which is hardly 10 lakhs or 8 lakhs or 12 lakhs, they are completing their masters from that same country, and they're having a stay back of around 2 years. Whereas if it is a 2-year program, then again you're spending 2x times. Now there is again an exemption for that. You might have seen about programs that are offering like a placement a year or a professional year. What exactly does professional year and placement year mean? So any student whose main aim to get a job in UK, I would suggest them to go for a placement year program. Why? Because in placement year program, in normal cases, the second year is actually you're doing your internship with most reputed companies. It depends on the multiple factors that whether it is a paid internship or a free internship, it is all different fact. Now, when the student is going for a placement year, what happens is when they are passing out, they have 1 year of internship experience with them. And normally placement year fees roughly would cost you 10, 20 or even 30% of your first year fee. Let's say that if your first year fee is around 12 lakhs per annum, so here you would be charged around 2.4 lakhs or 3.6 lakhs for the second year, which is the placement year. So when passing out, you're actually having a degree, plus you're actually having some experience prior to that. In any job market across the world, experience matter a lot, because companies these days don't have the time, don't have the patience, and they prefer skipping the investment part included in your training process. So if someone is already there who is well trained, knows the process on how to do it and what to do it, it's quite obvious that companies might give them a preference. These are the advantages when it comes to UK. Now we look at the advantages in Canada. We'll start off with the eligibility criteria for Canada. For Canada, like if you are going for a master's degree, many of the universities, they insist that you should be having a 4 years bachelor's degree. That is one step. So it doesn't mean that if you're having a 3 years degree only, you cannot apply for or you cannot migrate to Canada. It is not that way at all. So if you are having a 3-year degree, there are universities definitely which are accepting your 3 years degree for a master's program. So even that can be considered. Plus, there are plenty of universities and colleges that are actually offering graduate certificate program, undergraduate diploma program, or postgraduate diploma program. For all these things, you must be having an IELTS. That is our language eligibility criteria. As we have seen in the UK video, in UK, multiple language tests are accepted. But whereas in Canada, you can definitely choose between IELTS, PTE, all these exams. But we definitely would suggest you to go for IELTS. Why? Because if it is IELTS, you should be filing your visa under SDS category, where the rejection rates are comparatively low. If it is any other alternative exams than the IELTS, which is PTE, TOEFL, Duolingo, all these exams, then you are filing your visa under non-SDS category, where the rejection rates are sky high these days. So it is always advisable for the students to go for SDS category, just to make sure that the visa is not getting rejected because of that. Now coming to the stay back options and also your higher education ranking. So we have seen in that previous video or the previous content that in UK you have majority of QS World ranked the top universities or even the Times higher education ranked universities. Whereas in Canada you only have 26 universities or 26 higher education institutions for that matter. So what happens is the number of high quality institutions in Canada is comparatively less than in the UK. That is the slightest of disadvantages, but it comes as a package. If there is one disadvantage, there are a lot of plenty of advantages in Canada. Now we'll look at the advantages side, which is your PR part. We have seen in the UK, if you are opting for a 2-year program, the stay back is still 2 years. Whereas in Canada, if it is a 2-year program, the stay back is actually 3 years. Whereas if you're opting for a 1-year program, you're only getting 1 year. So if you compare it with the UK, in UK, even the 1-year program has 2 years stay back, and even the 2-year program has only 2 years stay back. Whereas in Canada, a 1-year program has 1 year stay back and a 2-year program has 3 years stay back. Stay back is quite important because this is the buffering time for you to get into a job. See, we cannot build our networks in 1 day. We cannot build our networks in around 2 months or 1 month. So you always require some amount of time so that you can build your networks in that particular country or particular region to find better job opportunity for yourself. This is why stay back is quite important. Now, comparing both UK and Canada, in Canada, the rejection rates are sky high and the eligibility is also quite difficult because you have to qualify for IELTS, there is a percentage cutoff in different universities. So all these things are important. Now, if you compare it with UK, entering UK as a student is not that difficult when you compare it with Canada. In UK, you have alternatives for language tests, the rejection rates are not that high. So you still can manage and get into a UK student visa even if you're 30 or 35 plus or even 40 plus, still it is possible. And PR part, this is huge because in Canada, if you're planning to settle down, you can actually bring in your parents or your family. Whereas in UK, it is only possible for 6 months in a year's time. This is the major difference between UK and Canada. Now you can actually decide what is your future goals and what are you planning to do in the next 5 to 10 years. Accordingly, you can choose which country you want to go. For more information or if you want any personalized counseling sessions, one-to-one sessions with us, do visit our website www.inspireeducationservice.com, where you will be able to book an online appointment with our team and we'll be more than happy to give you counselings on the same, that too absolutely free of cost. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you.